now 11 years, and I constantly love learning new things to help me and my family be healthier. There's no better friends and collaborators than the people we have here. I have no doubt the chat will be alive and well tonight with lots of questions and insights. So, it's from me to you, Deep Blue. I go to them daily. I also take adaptive capsules, Terrazyme, and DDR Prime most every day, along with my lifelong vitality. I have three little boys at home, and I couldn't live without Holiday Peace, which we diffuse daily all year long, Helichrysum, and Stronger for them. Wherever you are, welcome, bienvenido, bienvenue, willkommen. I love technology that brings us together from all over the world. We're glad you're spending some time with us, and we are sure you'll leave uplifted and with some new ideas. Whether you're new to essential oils and doTERRA or you're an experienced oil user, we have something special prepared for you tonight and for our virtual Evolve Tour event. We want to get to know you a little bit better. Some of our early guests told Missy and Sai where they were from, but I want to hear your favorite oil to diffuse at night as you're getting that restful sleep and all in. So chat in. We want to hear all of your great ideas for your favorite oil for sleep. This is a great way we get to know each other in our community, right? I love to hear how we're all using these incredible products that bring us all together. So I want to thank you for those of you who have signed up to attend one of our in-person post-convention tour events. We've loved being able to reconnect with you and provide hands-on experience with all of these fun, incredible products launched during a convention. From the fast favorite Deep Blue Stick to the long-awaited and highly coveted vanilla oil. Our hope for today is to provide more science and product education to accompany the new products you've been able to experience and have in your homes. While we would love to be in person and in even more places, we're grateful for this technology that brings us together and expands our reach across the country, over our borders, bringing all of us together tonight from the US and Canada and all around the world. Tonight, you'll hear from scientists, doctors, wellness advocates, and experts who will provide insight on who doTERRA is as a company and share some great product education to help you continue to evolve your life, adopt a more healthy lifestyle, and make changes, big or small, that will help you along your wellness journey. So to dive right into the event tonight, I have the pleasure and privilege of introducing Emily Wright. Emily may be small in stature, but she has the biggest heart and dreams of maybe anyone I know. Emily is one of those people that when you get around her, you can't help but start thinking about the future and where you are going. She lifts everyone to a better place and inspires all of us to become the best version of ourselves. I remember one time we were in Emily's office and we were talking about doing some type of team activity. We were thinking maybe going on a hike, something really fun. And all of a sudden we ended up in Hawaii skydiving out of airplanes together. So wherever the idea is, Emily just takes it to this level of vision and dreaming that is beyond life. And it is so fun. She leads by example in matters of leadership, generosity, and high standards. She's incredible. Emily is married to one pretty cool cowboy and is the mother of 4 amazing children. And she just welcomed her second grandbaby last week. Emily has a gift for seeing potential in people that oftentimes they don't even see in themselves. Her belief in their ability to live out that potential is so palpable, it's easily transferred to them. There are not many people like Emily Wright in this world. And I'm pretty sure that's why she's having such a huge impact for good across the globe. So we're going to welcome to our screen tonight doTERRA's heartbeat founding executive, Emily Wright.
Oh, thanks so much, Sarah Marie. I'm so excited to be with you tonight. So my journey started, right, as an unempowered mom. And I think many of you have felt that way in your lives, right, where you just don't know what to do. You don't know what resources you have in your life to really be able to tap into. And I remember the first time I had an essential oil put in my lap, I thought, what in the world is this? And I let them sit on the shelf for months and months before I actually dared crack that lid open and put them to use. And I've been raised using herbs. My mom raised me using many natural things, but essential oils were something brand new to me. You have to remember this is back in the 90s, right? And so essential oils were not well known, and they were definitely not well accepted. But it was when my little girl had some issues that I was dealing with, and I just was not having any luck using anything else that I had access to. So I thought, I wonder if I go to this peppermint oil, if I might have some success here. And so I turned to this peppermint oil. And I put a little bit on her abdomen, a little bit on her bottoms of the feet. And she was a baby at the time. She was just a little 18-month-old baby. And lo and behold, I had amazing results. And it just blew my mind and say, what in the world are these amazing essential oils? And so I wanted to know more. What were these essential oils? And and so that really changed the way that I raised my family as a mom. And so I wanted to know more. And so as I did that, let's see, I have to see here. As I did that, it really changed everything for me of you know what what I could do as a mom, what I could do to empower my kids. But fast forward, as I worked in the essential oil industry for 10 years, what I discovered was that everything had to do with purity. If you didn't have pure essential oils, you really didn't have the benefit that you wanted to have. And I remember being in a laboratory back in 2001 in France. And they're sitting with me saying, we can make any lavender that you want. Just tell us what you want it to look like, tell us what you want it to smell like, and we can deliver that to you. And I'm like, what in the world do you mean? I thought lavender only came from plants. I want lavender from that lavender plant. And they're like, no, no, no. We can make them look like anything that you want. And that's when I learned this the adulteration, the sophistication that really exists around the essential oil industry, in that most of the essential oils out in the marketplace are not pure. You can't trust them. And so everything, all the experiences that I'd had with my kids, I knew that that had to do with pure essential oils. And then I'm watching, because of greed, because of the economics, that these essential oils, right, they're fabricated with synthetic constituents. You've got extenders that are put in there, and even now today, because of the technology to really be able to analyze essential oils, they're also using natural constituents to make it look like a pure essential oil when in fact it's not. And I knew that when you have pure essential oils, that's where that chemistry from plants, from the earth, they know what to do in your body. And when you tamper with that, if you modify that in any way, you destroy all of that, and you're actually causing harm, becomes toxic for the body. And so that purity was everything. And I found myself walking away from the world of essential oils after being there for 10 years. I'd worked my way up to executive level in a company, and I had to walk away because my integrity means everything to me. And I couldn't stay in a place where I didn't feel that it represented my values. And that was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my life. At that point in time, I'm now a mother of four, and my baby was just a year old. And so as we started doTERRA, this slide's maybe just a little bit early, but as I left, I really have this vision of what if we could go out and source the most pure essential oils on the planet? And what if we could really educate people to understand how to tap in to the power of nature? And that was for me in the late 90s as a mom. I remembered how my world got rocked when I realized how I could tap into nature to care for my family. And not only what that did for me as a mother, but also what that did for my children, where they then were empowered to take charge of their own health. And it's been amazing. And now to see my daughter raising her two young children, and the first thing that happened when my beautiful little granddaughter was born just 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago actually, she got rose and frankincense right on the crown of her head, on the bottoms of her feet. It was the most amazing experience to be able to share with my daughter and see that passing on to the next generation. So as I had this idea, like, what if? What if we could really tap in and find pure essential oils? Because what I discovered was there were no pure essential oils that existed in the marketplace. They didn't exist. And so knowing that we had to go out and find them. And, that was kind of an intimidating thought. It's like, you've got to go find them. Well, how? So as I received that inspiration, and my heart was so full, and knowing this is exactly what we were supposed to do, that this is what I had been prepared for the last 10 years of my life, I picked up the phone and I called David Sterling. Now, David Sterling had been my boss. He'd been the one that I'd served with as the chairman of the executive board that I'd been with before. He too had left the company. I called up Dave and I, what if, Dave? What if we could do what we always wanted to do, but we're never allowed to? And then I called Dr. Heal, asked him the same question. And both of them got so excited. It's like, Emily, we've got to get together. We've got to talk about this. And as we sat down and dreamed, have you ever had a dream that's so big that you couldn't sleep, that you got so excited and you couldn't think about anything else? This is where we were in 2007. Like, we couldn't think about anything else. And we knew as we gathered together for lunch that day that we had to go out and we had to source these pure essential oils because the world desperately needed them. And I know that these plants were put upon this earth for a purpose, for you and me, for this time right now that we're living in. And we thought it would be easy. I was responsible to source the oils. It took me, Dave was doing the important work. He's putting the business plan together, and Greg Cook had joined at that time. He was helping Dave do that. And Dr. Hill's putting together the science, the education, because we wanted to lead with science. And I just had the small, easy task of sourcing these essential oils. And this is where, the year 2007, my eyes really got opened to the depths of adulteration that exists in the essential oil world. Because I had over 100 samples, and not one was pure until, right, 5 months into this, one beautiful day, 5 different oils arrived at my door, and every single one of them were exactly what we had been looking for. It was peppermint, lavender, lemon, tea tree, and frankincense. And that's when we knew this was the path we were supposed to take. And we knew that we had to birth doTERRA, even if we found no more pure oils than just these 5. So today we source essential oils all around the globe from 47 different countries. And I want you just to really open your mind to understand what this map represents. 47 different countries. As you look at these countries, 2/3 of them are developing countries. And the good we get to do in these countries is something that I am so obsessed with. I am so addicted to. And I hope that you will be too. And I know we've got people that are brand new to doTERRA joining us, and others that have been with us for many years, and others that have just joined the doTERRA family. So each and every one of you, I say welcome. And I wish I had hours and hours with you to share story upon story to help you understand how we arrived to where we are today, sourcing essential oils from 47 different countries. But it came from the fact that we realized in order to ensure the purity of these essential oils, as well as the potency, because the potency we found is just as important as the purity. Because I can grow lavender right here in my backyard in Utah, and it will grow extremely well, but it's going to be very low in an ester concentration, which means it's not going to give us the calming effect, the restorative effect that we would expect from lavender. However, when we go to a Mediterranean climate and source lavender, now all of a sudden you've got that little alacetate and those esters at those higher concentrations that we want to see, which gives us the potency, which gives us the results that we're looking for. So as we look at the sourcing map, I want to take you with me to Kenya, and specifically right down next to that Tanzania border to Lunga Lunga. This is an area where their average income is less than $1 a day, one of the poorest economics in the entire world. And as I visited this area and was able to go into some of the homes, it broke my heart just to see where they were living, but more so that they were living in fear because they did not own the land that their little huts were built on. And they lived in constant fear that they were going to be kicked off of this land, which would mean they'd lose their home, they'd lose everything. There really is no industry that exists in this area, so they don't have a way to make money. They have the sugarcane plantations that were there, but they really just took advantage of the people. So when they would grow sugarcane, yeah, they didn't make any money. So they put all of this labor forth. But once they took all of their administrative costs off, they didn't make any profit. And so they were accustomed to being taken advantage of in this area. And so we knew we had to do this differently. And so as we looked at Canyon, we realized that it had such rich soil. It also had weather conditions that allowed us to grow crops all year round. And what we needed to know is, could we grow these aromatic plants to give us the potency that we were seeking from these aromatic plants? And so we started a commercial farm first to see how that would work, and we discovered which plants actually thrived in this area. And so then we had employees go house to house and ask people if they would be interested in growing crops for us. And initially, they were very, very skeptical. They didn't know if they wanted to do that again. Remember what happened to them when they were growing sugarcane. But Mose is one of the stories that I will never ever forget. She was one that was very skeptical as we approached her, but we provided her with the tea tree starts and told her that she could have a mature crop in about 6 months. Well, she thought, well, what have I got to lose? So we helped her put the tea tree starts into the ground, taught her how to grow the crop, and we had employees that would show back at her place and teach her how to do that. 6 months later, they arrived at her home to show her how to harvest the tea tree. And again, it's because of the environment and the rich, rich soil there. This tea tree grew so quickly. So as they helped her harvest the tea tree, and they weighed it. And again, she's still skeptical up until this point. And as they weighed the crop, and I will never forget, as they took their phone, right, and they have an app on the phone, and as they showed her the amount that she was to be paid for her first crop of tea tree. Now, I want you to imagine this picture as she is there waiting in anticipation, wanting to know if she made any profit. Her husband is sitting back behind her. You can see their humble living conditions, and he's husking maize. They would go oftentimes 3 to 4 days in a row without eating because corn really is the one crop that kept them alive all year round. And oftentimes it just wouldn't go far enough. So they would go for days without eating. And he is there with threadbare clothes on him. And she looks at the phone and she sees the amount. Her eyes welled up with tears. And she turns behind her and she shares the good news with her husband. And he had this look of shock on his face. And that shock then turned into the biggest smile. So this picture here is taken of Mose. She's got 4 girls and 4 boys and has grandchildren already, right? She's a grandma. And then I want you to see this picture next. This is the picture of her and part of her family. And look at that smile on her face and the smile on her husband's face as they discovered what they earned for 6 months worth of labor. And she turned to us and said, "Can I do it again? And can I grow more?" And her answer was yes. And she said, "Can I have my neighbors do this?" And we said, yes. And she was so proud and so very excited. So I want you to understand what you're a part of. And I'm going to go through and share with you more of what our co-impact sourcing model has turned into Because initially it was just, we've got to go to the source and we've got to ensure the purity and the potency, right? To make sure we have essential oils that are working the way we want them to. But it's gone so much beyond that. So 5 months after the company was founded, we started a nonprofit called the Healing Hands Foundation because we asked ourselves, what kind of soul do we want doTERRA to have? We said it's got to be a soul of giving back, of lifting others up, of helping those that stand in need. And so, even at that point in time, after we had invested everything that we had, we'd taken equity out of our homes, we'd cashed out 401ks, we liquidated everything we had. We were living off of savings. We were holding on by our fingernails, wondering if it was even going to work. When the crash of 2008 hit, and people told us we were crazy, right? And at that point in time, we decided to start a nonprofit and take what little bit we had left personally to invest back and to give to other people. And I love the culture that that has created in doTERRA, and that all of the doTERRA family now gets to be a part of this giving. And so I want to show you what that giving allows us to do in the countries where we source these beautiful essential oils. So this is in Lunga Lunga. What we discovered as we went in there is that they didn't have a fresh water source. So you can see the river that runs through, but that river came from the ocean. And so it was salt water that was coming through. And so they were trying to filter through that salt water. So they were trying to drink it, was making them sick. But also the children would have to cross over this river to get to school. And you may have noticed, I'm not sure it was in the picture that I showed before if he wasn't there, but one of the young men there with Mosé did not have an arm. And it was because of a crocodile attack. And this was very common, that children would be killed or attacked by the crocodiles as they were going to school. And so one of the projects was to build a bridge. They also had to find a way to be able to separate that salt water from the fresh water to be able to water the crops. And so they were able to put that dam in and build that reservoir so that they would have fresh water source for the crops. But we also knew we had to provide fresh water for them to drink. And so that was our next project, was to put in a freshwater well in Lunga Lunga. And this was the day that we turned that well on for the very first time. And you can see the celebration, particularly of the women, because they were the ones that would go and collect the water. And for them to have a pure water source for their family was just amazing. You have to also know that when the young girls would go to collect water from the river that wasn't even clean, that's where they became potential victims of rape. And so this now putting these freshwater wells in their own communities protects those young girls and provides such a wonderful livelihood for these families. And this is something that we've really learned has to be done in these developing countries. So this well here now provides fresh water to 6,000 people, including 2,000 of the school children that we support in this area. So you can see these schools, they're both Christian schools as well as Muslim schools. And we built a community center. And part of the reason for the community center is, of course, for a place for them to gather, but we also get to gather them to teach them how to take care of their bodies. We did a Days for Girls where we taught the girls about feminine hygiene, how to keep themselves safe from getting pregnant, also about menstruation, to know it's not anything to be ashamed of, it's something to celebrate. But we also get to teach them about personal finance and how they can use this money that they've never had before, right? So they don't know how to manage that, and teach them how to budget that money, what to do with it. And what you have to understand is in Lunga Lunga, because many of them are living on land that doesn't belong to them, because the economy is so low, they've never been registered with their government. So, in the eyes of Kenya, these people don't even exist. They don't have any documentation, and this is something we quickly discovered. And so, as they are growing crops for us, we take them in, we get them registered with the government, we get them documented, we open up accounts for them with the bank, and you can imagine, like, the sense of pride, like, you matter. you're seen. And then to be able to budget that money is the most amazing thing. Something else that we do is we teach them, or we give them this opportunity to become a landowner. So this landless project is something we are so very passionate about. We have purchased a large parcel of land, and we've subdivided that into 1 and 2 acre plots. And so as they start growing for us and they get documented, and they learn how to budget their money, now we teach them how they get to invest in themselves and save that money, so that in 1 to 2 years time they now have enough money to purchase their own plot of land. So they get to put their home on their own plot of land, and they get to grow even more crop for doTERRA. And we're just changing that cycle of poverty, and we get so excited about the impact that we get to make in Kenya already, because we get to source a lot of different essential oils from Kenya. And so we now have 3,094 small scale farmers that are working for doTERRA in Kenya alone. And that number is only going to grow. Our impact is over, let's see, what is that number? It's over 11,138 people that we're able to impact and really be able to support through our efforts in Kenya. And that's only going to get greater. So I want you to know what you're a part of, because hope is the greatest gift that we can give. And we are giving these people hope for a brighter tomorrow. So not only are the people that get to benefit from these beautiful, beautiful essential oils that I depend on every single day for my emotional well-being, as well as my mental and physical and even spiritual well-being, but we're also on the other side of the bottle, able to change the economics of developing countries and give them so much hope. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this, because I am addicted and I can't stop doing this work, and I just love it so much. So in 2019, as before this pandemic hit, we've been able to impact 1 million lives. We were able to grow that through a pandemic to 1.6 in 2020. And today in 2021, we have impacted through our sourcing efforts 2.9 million lives around the world. And I just want you to breathe that in for just a moment to understand that doTERRA is so much more than just an essential oil company. We are so committed to helping the most all around the world. And we know we get to do that best by sourcing pure essential oils. And so I'm anxious for us to further that gift forward and to create hope all around the world, because I know that we have the ability to really create that healing balm in the world that the world needs so desperately. So as we go into this Evolve virtual event, I want to thank you for being here with us today. It means the world to me. I wish I could be sitting in your living room, but I hope, right, when we talk about the dips, I've got the sweater dips going on, right? I've got the cozy dips going on. Simone, I caught that from my daughter. She's 15, and she taught me that. Something else she taught me was, when I was going to school, it was all about, if you're going with a boy. So let's see where all of you are at. Now it's they're talking to a boy, right? So if you're talking, you're kind of committed to each other. So we're getting some new words that I'm learning, but I'm catching on quickly. But I invite you to join us. We are blazing a trail. When we set out to birth doTERRA, it was all about going out to source something that did not exist in the marketplace. Pure essential oils did not exist in 2008, and today they exist. And we also were so passionate about making sure that we legitimized the science behind these essential oils. We didn't want them to be seen as something, right? As I was first introduced to essential oils, I saw them as voodoo oils, right? We wanted to legitimize them through science. Where now we have an entire medical advisory board that works with us. We're led by an infectious diseases physician as our chief medical officer, where we are going into areas that no one else can go into. We're proving the efficacy of pure and potent essential oils that can only be found through doTERRA. And we're finding new ways of using them. And, I love when Dr. Osgothorpe will come into my office and he's like, Emily, did you know we just discovered through phytocokinetics that lavender oil will do this? And I'm like, really? I've known that for 20 years. And he just laughs at me. It's like, when you using these essential oils, you see what they do and you feel the change in your body. And I can't imagine my life right now without essential oils. I lost my mom 2 weeks ago, and it has been the hardest trial of my life because my mom was my best friend. She's the one that introduced me to natural remedies and raised me up that way. And for me, if it wasn't for my faith and if it wasn't for my oils, I know I would not be able to get through this dark time. The world is in a very dark time right now, and we get to be that healing balm as so many people have been isolated from one another. One thing that I love so much about these essential oils is they connect us with each other. And as I look at this picture of my dear friend Kendra and her young son, she's a single mom of 3 beautiful boys. And to see how her life has been changed as essential oils were shared with her, and she's now empowered as a mother. I want to empower every single human being on this planet to tap into the power of nature so that we can take charge of our own health care, so that we can be in the driver's seat, so that we can have that health freedom that we so desire. And I will not stop this work until every single person has access to that. And then we get to do so much good on the other side. So as I wrap up today, I want to introduce you to an amazing human being that I just got to know. Her name is Angel Hussein. She's from Alabama. She's been a part of doTERRA for 3 years. And her story really invites the conversation as to why doTERRA chose the person-to-person model in which to share these beautiful essential oils that have changed our lives forever. As we were having the discussions, we found those first 5 pure oils. We said, well, how do we deliver them to the world? Do we share them through online marketing? Do we share them through health food stores? Like, how are we going to do it? We realized these oils were so experiential, that it was our stories that connected us to understand how we can truly tap into nature to safeguard our health and to be preventative about our health. And so we knew that these stories needed to be shared. And so as we really embraced the person-to-person model, we have seen miracles come forth through that model, because the world needs human connection now as never before. And these precious volatiles that come from the plants are the connectors. They are the healing balm that the world needs right now. So Angel is the mother of 4. She owns a cute little coffee shop in Alabama, and she just discovered she suffered from a learning disability all of her life and never understood what it was. And just recently, she's identified it as dyslexia. And I'm so excited for Angel to share her story with you and the impact that doTERRA has had on her life. So thank you for being with us, and I'm so excited for you to enjoy the rest of this virtual event.
Thank you so much, Emily. Hi, everybody. As Emily said, I am very new. Sorry, my screen wants to do something funny. Okay, sorry. And okay, sorry. Anyway, I'm back. Technical difficulties. So I started my journey with doTERRA 3 years ago, like she said, and I jumped in for the natural health benefits by my best friend. And she was so wonderful to be patient with me, to teach me how to use essential oils. And of course, like Emily, I literally used to call them voodoo oils. But what started off with needing natural remedies for my family quickly turned into finding myself. I quickly jumped into the doTERRA business lifestyle, and I heard very often, let's do doTERRA, your way. But I didn't know what my way was because there were so many things and ways that doTERRA and other wellness advocates had that I didn't understand. And I didn't understand why I didn't understand. So I continued to search for more materials that would work for me. Here we are, 3 years later, but just a year and a half ago, um, I found out that my daughter and I both were dyslexic. That was like the most amazing day of my entire life. I was so excited. Some people might be upset by getting diagnosed or getting a label, but I was like, yes, here I have a superpower. I know the reasons why I felt the way I did. And so I quickly found all the resources that I could for my daughter to thrive. And since then, she has been able to get into this amazing school called Greengate at Randolph. Now, Randolph is a private school, but Greengate is another school that's integrated just for dyslexia. It's into this private school, into Randolph. And they get to teach in a very smaller classrooms, but they get to teach dyslexics how to thrive. And I'm so excited that she gets to go there. But let me tell you a little bit about dyslexia in case you don't know. Dyslexia is not just flipping your letters and your numbers. It's not just that. We think of like 101 things at one time. We are very, very hard workers, but we suffer with emotional issues, feeling like we're left out because we think of things differently than others. So we are not the mainstream person. But ultimately, knowing that you're dyslexic and finding ways that will help better your day-to-day growth has empowered me. So doTERRA started off as an essential company for me to do natural living for my family. However, it ultimately helped me find out that I was dyslexic because, but ultimately my goal is to help start an organization that will help fund children all over the United States to be able to get funding for schools that they need or to get online free education and tutoring from people who are certified in dyslexia teaching. But I would like to help be one of the people that doTERRA appoints to find some dyslexic friendly business material, since I have learned a lot of things on my own in the way that I needed to learn. But ultimately, I want to empower others and I want someone out there to feel seen. Maybe you're dyslexic, maybe you're not, but doTERRA has made me feel so seen in so many different ways. And I am just so grateful for this company in many ways. I want for you guys to be on the lookout for me, that I am able to start this organization. And yeah, that's all I have to say today. Thank you guys for getting to see a little bit of my world. And I'm just so appreciative to doTERRA and for all of you, because you're my people, dyslexics and not.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex DeBell. I'm the Director of Nutraceuticals and Innovation at doTERRA, which really means that I get to read a lot of science and then figure out how to package that science into a product that you can use. I'm happy to visit with you for a few minutes today to discuss one of our incredible product lines, doTERRA OnGuard. My purpose today is to review some of the specifics around both the legacy products in this line as well as the newest member of this family, OnGuard chewable tablets. You'll recognize some of the information that was shared at convention by Dr. Hill, Dr. Riggs, and Dr. Stevens. I'm fortunate to collaborate with such wonderful people, and you'll hear their voices in my message today. As our OnGuard product offering has evolved over the years, the positioning of the various products has been refined. Some of this refinement was advanced with the introduction of the Abode family of products at this year's convention. Other aspects of positioning refinement have occurred more gradually over the years, as new products grew out of the original OnGuard oil blend. Now, I want to revisit why and when you would use each of the On Guard internal use products, namely the essential oil blend, beadlets, soft gels, lozenges, and now the tablets. The doTERRA On Guard Essential Oil Blend is great for internal use. Even so, we now have more convenient products with consistent dosing for using this oil blend internally. Diffusing On Guard regularly remains an excellent way to freshen your home and provide an enjoyable, spicy aroma for your loved ones. On Guard beadlets are all about convenience. These tiny beadlets highlight the potency and power of essential oils, providing 14.5 milligrams of On Guard per beadlet in a package that punches far above its weight. These modern miracles are great to keep in your bag for on-the-go use whenever you sense the need for additional immune support. They're also super easy to share. The On Guard soft gels are also very convenient to use. We've included a couple of bonus oils in the 120 milligram per soft gel dose of this On Guard Plus formula to double down on supporting your immune system. On Guard Plus soft gels contain the added black pepper, melissa, and oregano, which are not present in On Guard. The beta-caryophyllene of black pepper and melissa are great at supporting your endocannabinoid system for maintaining homeostasis, while oregano is of course a powerhouse oil in its own right. Use the soft gels once daily or 1 to 2 soft gels every 6 hours as needed for immune support. On Guard lozenges provide 60 milligrams of On Guard oil blend in a sustained release, easy to use, targeted delivery product. These lozenges are a great way to localize the delivery of On Guard oil to your oral pharynx region. This is your mouth and throat, to help soothe these delicate areas. Use these lozenges when you want to soothe your mouth and throat. Now, the newest member of the family, On Guard chewable tablets, are all about immunomodulation. That is, priming your immune system to face inevitable immune threats. You see, living a full life includes being exposed to the world around us. Fortunately, our immune systems exist to help us respond to the pathogens we all encounter. In this new product, we've included several immunomodulatory ingredients that, much like a spring, are priming your immune system to be able to spring into action at a moment's notice. The vitamin D3, vitamin C, zinc, and beta-glucan all support not only the development and maintenance of both your innate and adaptive immune cells, but these amazing immunomodulators pair with 33 milligrams of our powerful On Guard oil blend to provide unrivaled immune support. Use these tablets regularly. 3 tablets makes a serving, in a proactive manner to maintain your immune guard. I use them daily, especially when I want the additional support. My children also love using a reduced dose of 1 or 2 tablets to help support their immune systems. The science around vitamin D3, vitamin C, zinc, and beta-glucan is well established, and these nutrients are some of the most widely understood and widely consumed when it comes to supporting our immune systems. We set out to reaffirm these proofs with our own pilot study using this new On Guard tablet product. Working with Dr. Nicole Stevens, we designed a test to observe just how the immune cells of our body respond to the components of the On Guard tablets. Blood was drawn and measured at time point 0 to establish an immune cell baseline. Then, after consuming the On Guard tablets, blood was again drawn at both 3 and 5 hour time points to learn how the immune system was being primed by the ingredients of this product. Though not surprising, the results were exciting. Both white blood cells and lymphocytes of the immune system increased within 3 hours. Similarly, cytokine signaling molecules and receptors, responsible for orchestrating an orderly immune response, were gently increased in a preparatory manner to help the host, that's each of us, be on guard for immune threats. Now, this is initial research, not a full human clinical study, so more research and tests are needed to confirm these results, but we are very excited about these initial results from our pilot study. Although we cannot avoid all immune threats in our lives, we can be prepared to respond to them. And doTERRA On Guard chewable tablets help us to do this by keeping our immune systems primed and ready for action. We are thrilled to offer you such a comprehensive line of products that support your immune system. With careful, proactive attention toward our immune systems, we can each live more confidently. Doing so will enable us to more fully love and serve those around us. Now, we know that a healthy lifestyle includes more than just supporting our immune system. To learn more about leading a healthy lifestyle, let's hear from Dr. Brannick Riggs.
I'm Dr. Brannick Riggs. I'm a family physician and believe not only in Western medicine, but also in the powerful benefits of integrative medicine. I currently serve as Vice President of Medical Education at doTERRA and as Chairman of the Medical Advisory Board. Now, investing in a healthy lifestyle has never been more important than now, and who you partner with on your health journey and knowing what you're putting in, on, and around your body matters. So today I want to address an important subject that we've talked about before, but we now have new evidence supporting these concepts. doTERRA was founded on the principle that purity of essential oils mattered. Our founders, as you heard Emily talk about, saw what was on the market and felt that there was a place for a company that held true to the standard that purity of product is important. This is, in fact, the genesis of doTERRA. This road has not been easy, and like most roads built upon integrity, it has been a lonely road. Other companies have been unwilling to follow. Greed typically wins over integrity, and so purity gives way to profit. It makes sense that if I adulterate my oils with synthetics or with other oils that cost less, but have similar chemistry, that I can make more money. I can also still say that my oils are 100% pure because no one checks. No one is monitoring to determine who is really pure and who is not. However, when you build a company based on integrity of product, of sourcing, of service, it always brings blessings. So we all know that doTERRA goes to great lengths to ensure the purity of their essential oils. Since the beginning, we've had our own internal standard by which we measure all of our oils. CPTG oil means that we have certified each batch of oil to our high standards. We've tested the oils in rigorous ways. Each batch of oil is subject to at least 8 different tests, including organoleptic testing, specific gravity, gas chromatography and mass spectrometry, FTIR, optical rotation, refractive index testing, contamination testing, and then stability testing. Up to 46 other tests are done if needed to follow up on the original 8. Recent research out of the University of Mississippi and the National Center for Natural Products Research was published in the renowned Journal of Pharmaceutical and Biomedical Analysis. This research indicates, sadly, that up to 90% of lavender essential oil on the market today is adulterated in some way. This means that all those lavender oils that you see in various stores that say 100% pure are likely not really pure. Purity has got to be the foundation of an essential oil, and at doTERRA, we pursue what is pure. To this point, the internal organization for standardization has been the measuring stick by which essential oils are measured. This recent research suggests that the newly developed Q-index approach possesses greater sensitivity in detecting lavender essential oil adulteration. The new Q-index method shows that doTERRA lavender oil is consistently pure from batch to batch. We believe that the Q-index will become the gold standard by which oils are measured. With this published research, we are moving into a space where no one else can go. Dr. Hill says we're moving into a whole different arena and locking the doors behind us. Now, why can't other companies go where we are going? Because they have not done the work. They did not walk the lonely, hard road of integrity to produce oils that are pure. They have not gone to the extent that doTERRA has to bring to the world pure essential oils. No one does the testing that we do. No one has the supply chain that we do. No one has the partnerships that we do in the research and medical space. And no one has the education that we do. Our amazing wellness advocates can teach you about the benefits of applying, diffusing, or ingesting these amazing pure essential oils. So let's move away from the foundation and go up one level to consistency. Proprietary data from Dr. Satyal indicates that our lavender oil has been very consistent over time in its main constituents. Lavender oil, as you know, is made up mainly of linalool and linalool acetate. Over the last 4 years, these two ingredients have varied by 1.25% and 1.95% respectively. This is unheard of in the natural products space. So it's interesting that, that we've done this. Now, a lot of people will ask, how is that possible with a natural product that may vary from year to year based on the temperature, water, and sunlight? So I'll tell you how. It's about the supply chain. We have many farmers across many parts of the world that are growing Lavandula angustifolia. We control those supply chains. We can now blend all of those batches of beautiful lavender oil to have a consistent amount of linalool and linalool acetate. I used this example with Kurt Jowers the other day as we were discussing this concept. If I were making watermelon shakes and I wanted my shakes to be exactly the same color every time, that would be difficult. Watermelons grow in all shades, from dark red to light pink. However, if I had hundreds of watermelons to choose from, I could take some of the red watermelons and blend them with some of the lighter pink ones to create just the right signature shade for Dr. Riggs watermelon shakes. I would be using fresh, pure watermelon each time, but blending the various shades that naturally occur in the world. Other vendors might just say, oh, it's easier to use red food coloring to get a consistent color to a watermelon shake. But you and I know that's not pure watermelon. To apply this example to our lavender, other companies may add synthetic linalool or linalool acetate to keep their lavender oil consistent in its active constituents, but we do not. We simply have lots of batches of lavender oil to work with to blend to a consistent amount of linalool and linalool acetate. So why is consistency important? It has to do with potency. If I were to give you a medication as a physician that varied by almost 100% from pill to pill, we may see a significant difference in how that medication reacted to your body and how it responded as we hoped it would respond. In other words, if I gave you a medication that one day had 20% active ingredient and another day have 45% of that same ingredient, it would be largely problematic, both in its side effect profile and its efficacy. As we have a pure oil that is consistent in its main constituents, we can now have potency. If I am wanting to study the effects of an essential oil on physiology, I want a pure, consistent, potent oil that I can rely on time after time. This explains that why in the scientific literature, you can find a study supporting the use of an oil for a specific problem, and then find another article refuting the use of that oil for the same problem. Likely it has to do with constituents varying significantly from batch to batch or from company to company. So as you can see, purity is the foundation of everything we do. Evidence supports that we have pure oils and most others do not. Consistency of our oils mean that you get the same oil year after year. And lastly, potency can only be built upon purity and consistency. Essential oils can benefit us in our health journey only if they are potent. With this information, I would challenge any research or healthcare institution as to why they would partner with anyone else than doTERRA. They should be using the standard in purity, consistency, and potency. And we have the data to prove that. Finally, I'd like to switch gears just a little bit. While I've just talked about the scientific importance of these concepts and essential oils, the oils are only tools. Much like a nice new shovel in the shed, it does no one any good by hanging there looking shiny and new. Tools have value only when used, Pure, consistent, potent oils can help no one by sitting on your shelf. So I will ask two things of you. Number one, if it's been a while since you've used your oils, go get them, open them up, use them on yourself and your family to feel the difference they can make in your life. Number two, once you feel the benefits of essential oils in your life, go find someone who needs to know kindness and love. Now more than ever, we need to take care of each other. There are people out there that are needing someone to show that they are cared for and loved. These tools can help show how much we care for others that we come across in our daily lives. Look for the one person every day that you can show that you care. I promise it will make a difference in their life and yours as we serve and love each other.
Hello, friends. I am thrilled to be joining you virtually to talk all things Abode. As a product innovator and mother, I'm especially honored to talk to you about a product line that means so much to me. So some of you may be asking, what is Abode? That is a great question, and it actually has two answers. It is a blend and a brand. The Abode Refreshing Blend is packed with essential oils known for their powerful cleansing benefits: distilled lime, litsea, cassia, lemon eucalyptus, tea tree, arbor vitae, kochia eucalyptus, cilantro, lavandin, and lemon myrtle. Each essential oil has individual cleansing properties, but the real magic of this blend comes from the synergistic effect. This means that the cleansing benefits are exponentially amplified by the way the oils work together. Now, because this essential oil blend is so effective, we used it as the foundation of our robust line of home cleaning products branded doTERRA Abode. This line checks all the boxes. I've had the opportunity to use these products for a few months prior to the launch, and I swear to you that I will never look back. I love it so much. And I'm clearly not alone. Since its launch on October 1st, the doTERRA Abode line has been welcomed into more than 100,000 homes and counting. We are a community of conscious consumers. Your priorities are the same as ours. We understand the desire for clean, transparent options in your product choices. Unfortunately, many home and lifestyle products are full of synthetic and even toxic ingredients, making it nearly impossible to feel confident in our ability to care for our homes and families without having to compromise. Well, we don't believe in compromises around here. So we set out on a mission to create a home cleaning line that had to deliver on three main things. And I think we nailed it. First, leverage the power of clean and effective ingredient decks to reduce daily exposures to toxins. Second, use earth-friendly delivery methods, from the utilization of a concentrate model to the recyclability of the packaging. And third, infuse these amazing products with a signature style, because we know that the home is essentially a showroom for the lifestyle you live. May as well make it beautiful. Okay, let's talk about the products. First, the Multipurpose Surface Cleaner Concentrate. This is the mother of all multitaskers. It comes in a concentrate format and includes the Abode blend amplified by the power of thymol, which is well known for its powerful cleansing abilities. From the bathroom to the kitchen and everywhere in between, you can count on this product to take on your toughest jobs. Next, the liquid dish soap. This sink-side hero is tough on grease and gentle on hands. It features an extra strength formula, which, of course, includes the Abode Signature Blend and is further amplified by the power and lovely aroma of grapefruit essential oil. Whether your dishes need a good scrubbing or soaking, this dish soap is here to save the day. And speaking of dishes, the doTERRA Abode line also includes dishwasher pods. These convenient, pre-measured pods leverage natural enzymes to remove difficult food stains and leave your dishes sparkling clean. These pods are especially great because it can be easy for the whole family to get involved in after-dinner chores. Now, let's talk laundry. Our doTERRA Abode laundry pods are a home run. Derived from plant sources, this bio-based formula helps remove difficult stains while maintaining vibrancy. They're perfect for all your laundry needs, from your sports uniforms to bedding and linens. Parental pro tip, these pods even knocked out an oil stain on my daughter's white shirt. When it comes to doing household chores, we sometimes neglect caring for our hardworking hands. Enter our beautiful hand duet. Made up of a gentle foaming hand wash and silky hand lotion, this duet provides the perfect closure to your daily cleaning ritual. Both formulas leverage natural ingredients to cleanse and nourish your hands. The hand wash comes in a concentrate format and delivers soothing moisture to the hands through unique ingredients such as banana fruit extract. The lotion includes Tasmanian pepper extract, which helps soothe the skin. These products are scented with our fan favorite aroma, Citrus Bloom. While we all adore the Citrus Bloom aroma, we do plan to come out with new hand duet aromas seasonally, so you can mix it up and keep it fresh year-round. As you can see, Abode is here to stay. It will serve you and your home task after task and season after season. This line will continually expand to deliver toxin-free solutions for every corner of your home. So stay on the lookout. Now, there are so many things I want you to know about this line, but my time is up. The best way to learn more about the Abode line and jumpstart your toxin-free lifestyle is to check out the doTERRA Natural Home Edit, a free and simple course all about using natural solutions in the home. I have loved spending this short time with you tonight. As you can see, the Abode line checks all the boxes and tackles the tough jobs with natural simplicity. But you don't have to take my word for it. Allow me to introduce you to doTERRA Blue Diamond, board-certified practicing pediatrician, and my friend. Joining us from Los Angeles, Dr. Tina Wong.
You guessed it, I'm a mom who includes all of their kids in the cleanup. And so that's why it's so important that we have a cleaning line that is safe for kids to use and that is effective. So that's why I'm going to talk tonight about the Abode cleaning line. And right now I want to introduce you to my cleaning crew, and they're going to tell you a little bit about how they use the Abode line. All right, come on, Luke. Jeremy first.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm 15 years old, and I do the laundry with our family. I love using the doTERRA Abode dishwasher pods because they're really easy to pop in there instead of me having to grab the sticky dishwashing detergent handle. I also like using the dryer wool balls because I could put.
This is Evan.
Hi, my name is Evan. I'm the dishwasher of this crazy family, and I love using this dish soap. This is the Abode dish soap, and it helps cut the grease super fast.
Awesome. He says it's a lot better than the stuff
It's
I
a lot
used to
better
make.
than my mom used to make.
I used to make all my own DIY stuff from the essential oils, but I wanted to make sure that what we use in our home is non-toxic. So what makes this line different than what you would find in the grocery store? Well, first, it doesn't have synthetic fragrances and phthalates, which tends to trigger breathing issues and head tension. It doesn't have sodium lauryl sulfate and phosphates, which tend to trigger skin irritations. There are 0 dyes. The laundry pods and dishwasher pods are pre-measured, which is awesome from a spillage point of view, right? If you have little kids that help you. And look at these beautiful frosted amber glass containers. I mean, when was the last time you displayed your cleaning products on your countertop with pride? I love these. And what's really great for the environment is that when you're done, you just order the refill. You don't have to order the glass bottle again. And so that is great for our environment. And now I don't have to make my own DIYs, and that saves me a lot of time. Okay, so now if you're on the fence still about whether you want to switch to non-toxic cleaning, I'd like to share 3 statistics with you that really impacted me a lot and really impact my patients a lot. So the first is that the Environmental Protection Agency says our indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outside air. We need to change that. The second is that out of the top things that cause indoor air pollution, cleaners and air fresheners are at the top of the list. And the third statistic is that children breathe in faster and more air than adults. One of the studies I read said that infants breathe in 35 times more air than adults. And so this is so important why our indoor air quality has to be clean and non-toxic for our children. So all of these reasons are why me as a pediatrician, I personally switched everything to the Abode line, and I recommend my patients to do the same. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Abode line, doTERRA. We love you so much.
Now, next up, we're going to hear from a couple of our favorite speakers. We'll have the awesome opportunity to hear from Nicole Stevens, who's Director of Clinical Research. And you guys know Nicole, sometimes when she talks, I have to just say, Nicole, sister, just tell me where I need to put the oil, right? She starts going and the information is, woo, just joking. We love the research, the science, it validates everything that we're talking about. And we couldn't think of a better person to hit on that. And so we will be pleased to hear from Nicole Stevens. But before that, we're actually going to turn the time over to Natalie Carson. And so Natalie and her husband, Brian, coming from Las Vegas, Nevada, we couldn't think of a power couple, a better power couple to test out and talk about the Deep Blue Stick. When we asked her friends to describe Natalie, they said anything she touches comes to life. And by friends, I mean Brian too. So Brian, I got you. Your visa should be good, my friend. But you'll want to give it up to Natalie, and we'll be pleased to hear from Nicole after that. Enjoy.
All right. Hey, everyone. It is Natalie Carson. Can you guys hear me? I am coming in live from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I get to talk about one of the new products that I'm super excited about. Who's excited about these new products? You guys. Okay. They just upgraded Deep Blue with the new Deep Blue Stick. Has anybody tried this? It is so epic because it's in this really easy way. You can just take off the lid, rub it on where you need, and there's no greasiness or anything getting on your hands. And it's immediate relief. Now, I love what they've done is they've upgraded it with a little copaiba. We all know the powers of copaiba, but they've also put an over-the-counter strength plant-based menthol, which is a topical analgesic. So now when we're sharing Deep Blue, you guys, we can actually say the word pain and arthritis. This is awesome. And you guys can share this with chiropractors or share it with any of your friends that have pain. I'm pretty sure everyone you know can benefit from this. So if you look on the little section right here, it says, delivers temporary relief for minor aches and pains of muscles and joints associated with simple backache, arthritis, sprains, strains, and bruises. What? Okay. And one other, you guys, has anybody ever been on the phone and you're like kinking your neck like this, or you're resting at night and you wake up with a sore neck? You know what I'm talking about? Anybody? Yeah. So what I did was I was like, I've got my new Deep Blue Stick. You guys, I rubbed it on my neck just like this. And then I waited for about 1 minute. And then I was like, oh my stars, the pain is gone. So if you don't have the new Deep Blue Rub Stick, you guys, get it in your life. It is freaking awesome. And Simone, thank you for the love. I'm so grateful that I got a chance to do this. Brian sends his love. He's at work. All right. So that is it on the Deep Blue Stick. You guys get it. Hopefully you guys will win it, or I don't know if they're giving this away today, but my vote is that they do.
Thank you so much, Natalie. I have to say the Deep Blue Stick is one of my all-time favorite things. I love it, but that's not all we've got. Are you ready for some more? Let's talk Tulsi. I'm Nicole Stevens, Director of Clinical Research here at doTERRA, which means I'm all about the science, but I've also done a lot of oil blending. So I'm all about the oils. I love them. And we are so excited to be able to offer this unique new oil Tulsi as a permanent doTERRA product. So what is it about Tulsi that inspires our inner nerds? First, let's talk about the species. doTERRA has offered sweet basil, or Ocimum basilicum, for many years. Tulsi, also called holy basil, is the species Ocimum sanctum. These two types of basil are the same genus, but different species. In fact, there are many species of basil available. So why did we choose these? And especially, why did we choose Tulsi when we already offer sweet basil? The answer lies in the chemistry. Sweet basil is high in a chemical constituent called linalool, which is a monoterpene alcohol. This gives it a pungent green and herbal aroma, along with characteristic benefit applications. Tulsi, by comparison, is high in the chemical constituent eugenol, which is a phenol compound. Now, this gives Tulsi a warm, rich, kind of spicy aroma. In addition to eugenol, Tulsi also contains sesquiterpenes beta-caryophyllene and trans-beta-alanine, and many other minor constituents that really round out that aromatic profile and offer benefits in their own right. Bottom line, even though Tulsi is another type of basil, it's not just another basil. Its chemistry, aroma, and topical benefits are unique and exciting. Now let's get to know Tulsi a little more. Beyond its chemistry, Tulsi has a rich history of use. Its place in Ayurvedic and folk practices earned it the name holy basil, and it is referenced in some writings as the incomparable one and the queen of herbs. Multiple studies, both in vitro, meaning in test tubes and petri dishes, and in vivo, meaning within complex living organisms, have demonstrated that Tulsi's popularity is well deserved. You may see Tulsi referred to as adaptogenic. Adaptogens are substances thought to promote homeostasis, which is our body's way of staying balanced. Who doesn't need a little more of that? The combination of Tulsi's powerful eugenol with the soothing sesquiterpenes, and particularly that phytocannabinoid beta-caryophyllene, as I mentioned earlier, create a distinctive palette of essential oil chemistry and adaptive resilience. As Dr. Hill discussed when he launched Tulsi at convention, this is an amazing essential oil for support when used in different ways. Aromatic use of Tulsi creates a sensory experience, as is the case for all aromatic essential oils. We know that olfactory stimulation leads to downstream effects in many parts of our brains. On the other hand, when we apply Tulsi topically, we tend to get a more focused and localized effect. The phenolic structure of the eugenol in Tulsi has been shown in many studies to have powerful topical benefits. With that in mind, this is an oil where you'll want to consider your usage model, and be sure to dilute if applying to sensitive skin. Now, we can take some of our usage cues for Tulsi from its many uses we've seen in both historic and scientific literature. This is a fantastic oil to apply to the skin to help keep the appearance clean and healthy. In my house, we've discovered that it's a new favorite to use as part of a massage in the evening, the time of day when we're trying to process the day's experiences and prepare for the reset of sleep. If you're a fan of diffusing, Tulsi is excellent to add to the diffuser to promote a calming atmosphere. I even love to use this one during meditation and breathing practices. You'll notice in its aroma a complexity and depth that make it a great choice for mindful exercises. Now, we can take some of our usage cues for Tulsi from its many uses we've seen in both historic and scientific literature. This is a fantastic oil to apply to the skin to help keep the appearance of the skin clean and healthy. In my house, we've discovered that this is a new favorite to use as part of a massage in the evening, the time of day when we're trying to process the day's experiences and prepare for the reset of sleep. If you're a fan of diffusing, Tulsi is excellent to add to the diffuser to promote a calming atmosphere. I even love to use this one during meditation and breathing practices. You'll notice in its aroma a complexity and depth that really makes it a great choice for mindful exercises. Tulsi's chemistry also allows it to function as a supporter of oral health. It's super simple to add a drop or two and a few ounces of water, swish and spit. If blending is your jam, Try some fun diffuser combinations of Tulsi with citrus oils like bergamot, lemon, or neroli. Or mellow things out by blending Tulsi with floral oils, maybe clary sage or ylang ylang. Some wood oils like cedarwood and sandalwood. Maybe you really want to get intense with a meeting of the Queen of Herbs, Tulsi, with the King of Oils, frankincense. So many great combinations are possible. Have a fun time experimenting. To wrap up, there's a lot to learn and love about Tulsi. Everything from its history, aroma, chemistry, and benefits make this oil a great one to add to your repertoire of favorites. I hope you find your own awesome way to enjoy the new doTERRA Tulsi oil.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Stevens. So I have to admit, I was backstage, I was listening to Nicole talk about Tulsi, and the only thing I could think of was, holy basil, that was an awesome presentation. So Dr. Nicole, you're amazing, thank you. So we have a quick video to get you excited about the amazing holiday products. And then after that, we're gonna close this virtual event in style. We have here with us our President of North America and Global Relations, Kirk Jowers. So those of you that have met Kirk know he has a huge personality. But as I've gotten to work with Kirk and learn from him, his experience both inside of doTERRA and outside of doTERRA is so amazing. We're lucky to pull him over from Europe. Now he's all of ours in North America, and we are super excited to have Kirk close out this event for us. So take a look at this video, and then it'll be Kirk Jowers.
Hey everyone, I'm so glad you've been with us this evening. I hope you've loved it. I know I have some great messages. And I want to start with a little story. When my daughter Lucy was little, she was obsessed with animals. She would spend all the time she could watching them, asking questions about them, and talking about what she had learned about. So she loved animals. And when we would drive down the road, I was astonished by her ability to spot animals in the most obscure places, in the tops of trees, hidden behind bushes, and from far distances, imperceptible to my view. I remember asking her, Lucy, how are you able to spot all these animals? She responded, because I'm looking for them. This is an astute life lesson from a child. What we look for is what we will find. When Lucy was in high school, Chris and I had the chance to take her on a safari while visiting doTERRA farmers and operations in Kenya. I'll never forget how eagerly Lucy looked in every direction. This is a photo dear to my heart. Lucy was practically a third of the way out the window the entire bumpy ride because she was so excitedly looking for animals. And of course, she managed to spot animals that even our seasoned safari guide hadn't noticed. What we look for is what we will find. As I've transitioned into joining with you in North America, Lucy's mantra has been front of mind. I've heard anxiety's voice that doTERRA has reached market saturation in the United States and Canada, and/or that the pandemic has made it too difficult to share. If you look first for difficulties and obstacles, it is easy to find them right now. Many of our worlds are upside down, but the opportunity with doTERRA is more real than ever. I see it every day and I feel it in my soul, and I want you to see it too, and I know many of you do. Indeed, I'm excited to share this hot off the press survey data from a third-party research firm, Cicero. Finding number one, doTERRA is the US industry leader in unaided awareness at 9%, a 3% jump from last year. So congratulations on singing loud and clear about doTERRA and bringing us to the top in such a short time. While we're moving in the right direction, 9% is still a drop in the bucket. Only 1 in 10 Americans, only 17% of Americans have aided awareness of doTERRA. That leaves a huge amount of our population who don't know who doTERRA is at all. 9 of 10 who have never even heard of us. There are so many more individuals and families to reach and empower. Individuals will most often choose doTERRA as their preferred brand when they are aware of several essential oil brands, as you see here, almost 2 to 1 of some of our competitors who they also recognized. We also continue to separate from the competition. Both preference of and likelihood to recommend, doTERRA has greatly improved since 2020 and continues to lead the pack. Perceptions that doTERRA sells 100% pure oils have increased 11% in 1 year. Perceptions that doTERRA sells the most effective oils have increased 15% since 2020. Again, that is primarily due to your incredible willingness to share and educate the people around you. Positive perceptions of doTERRA's pricing also have grown 11% in the past year. So, that brings us to perhaps my favorite slide. Years ago, 5 or 6 years ago when I started, the biggest obstacle for people who are not using essential oils was they questioned the efficacy or claimed benefits. The next one was they were too expensive. That is no longer an issue, thanks to you and thanks to the incredible research and advancements that doTERRA and our wellness advocates have made. As you can see, the number one reason that people don't use essential oils is that they're not knowledgeable enough about them. That's why we have our direct selling model. That's why we have you. It is a peer-to-peer education process, because that is the one thing keeping people from even starting with essential oils. How do they differentiate from frankincense, wild orange, and our new Hygge blend? You help them get there. So consumers are more open to and trusting in the science behind essential oils than in previous years. And essential oil users are putting more faith in the scientific validity of oils than in the past, a full 7% increase since 2020. The big reason for that is this pandemic. Now that it matters, now that their health really matters, they stick with the brand they know, and it has helped our numbers move up further than any time in the past. Again, this is a survey of the general population all across the United States, not people who have any association with doTERRA. So again, congratulations on your job of differentiating doTERRA and helping people understand what essential oils can do in their lives. So I just gave you some new information, but one of my jobs today at our post-convention virtual tour is to reinforce my convention message, as well as to turn you back to some of the convention presentations, which are now available on YouTube. And at the end of my talk, I will give you yet another resource to help you take advantage of all the presentations you've heard. Hopefully, I can give you a short version of my convention presentation to entice you to go onto our YouTube page and look at some more things. In short, what I hoped you got from my convention presentation is something I believe in my heart and in my soul, which is that doTERRA is all set to be the hottest startup of 2022. Hopefully the survey data I just mentioned has you looking in the right direction. But what else do we know? Here are just 7 things for now. And in my convention presentation, I back each one of them up with a lot more facts. So we're going to go quick. So hold on. Number 1, doTERRA is truly a startup ready to explode. Many of you have worked very hard for a decade or more, and it doesn't feel like we're a startup. But make no mistake, we are just beginning. Outside of our wonderful doTERRA bubble, people are just barely beginning to even know who we are. Again, 9 out of 10 people have no idea what the word doTERRA means. So if they aren't aware of the doTERRA brand, especially without being aided, that means we are not even close to being saturated. If you look at this slide, we have an incredible opportunity. We have so much sharing ahead of us. Our numbers provided to the DSA are at about number 7 on this DSA 100. We don't provide our numbers, but we know, and we've confirmed with the DSA. So we have had an incredible first 13 years, but we are barely a teenager. Look at the companies ahead of us, 62 years old, 41 years old, 135 and 138 years old. Thanks to you, we exploded out of the gate, but now we are still a young startup with a lot of resources and advantages to take off even more. Number 2, doTERRA has the right and the best people. That's you, of course. I think it was Alfred Hitchcock who said 90% of successful movie making is in the casting. The same is true in life. You are the right and the best people. The genius, indeed the fail-safe of our startup prospectus is you and your passion for sharing these essential oils. All of our key growth strategies revolve around providing more effective support to you. Our efforts include ongoing product expansion, technology, groundbreaking research, and marketing efforts to help you do your business better and more efficiently. doTERRA has to keep up with your awesomeness. You have felt some of our corporate growing pains, and we are making great strides quickly with your help. You, our wellness advocates, are our unique advantage over our competitors, and these recent survey statistics prove how effective you are. You share with your team and customers to help them achieve their health, wellness, and financial targets. And this community approach is important because we know that making lifestyle changes and achieving wellness and financial goals can be challenging. And that's why our team or community approach provides the most meaningful support. I'm so grateful for the transitions and transformations that you have made to continue supporting your team these past 18 months. We know that COVID-19 made people even more attracted to our products. There is a silver lining to all of this craziness. There is significant consumer demand for those wanting to live a healthier life and minimize the toxins they put into their bodies. Number 5, we know that people want essential oils, and we are the market leader and most favored company to provide them. When many of you started, you tell me that almost no one knew what an essential oil was. You have changed that dynamic. So even though they don't know doTERRA, they do know essential oils. When I was in Dallas for a great post-convention tour visit, one of our Blue Diamond leaders introduced me by saying, "This is Kirk Jowers, the Verify Markets guy." And her friend responded, "Yes, I'm addicted to that Verify Markets data. I use it in every presentation." Well, I'm not sure that I aspire to be that guy, but I will definitely and briefly lean in tonight. Verify Markets, which is an independent New York firm that analyzes many different markets, projects the global aromatherapy and essential oils market to experience a massive growth rate over the next 5 years, from 7.8 billion to 18.7 billion in 2026. That isn't even the best news. Verify Markets now believes they have underestimated the growth. They completed the most recent analysis before any of us knew about COVID-19. They now realize that while our sector was fast growing pre-pandemic, the events of the last 2 years and the trend of self-care and natural remedies has accelerated the passion for essential oils, a huge opportunity for doTERRA wellness advocates. So do the math. Even if we just keep our current pace in relation to the rest of our industry, and we've always far exceeded the industry's pace, we're poised to grow almost 3 times in the next few years. We have far more growth ahead in the next 13 years than we have had in the past 13 years. And that should be exciting for everyone. Those who have been with us for a decade or more, and those who are watching this as their first doTERRA experience ever. This year, we've continued to monitor and respond to several trends, including an increased focus on health and well-being and a growing demand for our products. Our mission is to share essential oils and improve wellness and nutritional habits around the world with pure and natural products. The fact that we're aligned with global trends and have a portfolio of products to meet these demands offers our wellness advocates an enormous opportunity. We know that doTERRA has by far the best foundation and resources. This is a massive advantage. Again, don't take my word for it. As attested by Verify Markets, we are unquestionably the market leader with the brightest future. The stronger players will be even more dominant. And we now know that the ankle biter synthetic gas station checkout essential oil companies will continue to lose market share and customer interest. Verify Markets singles doTERRA out as the company best equipped to evolve into an even more successful company than it has been over the past decade. Now that people know the quality of the essential oil really matters for their health, they will continue to leave the synthetic stuff in droves. We have the fruit, they have the skills, and now that it matters, people really want the fruit. And as Dr. Riggs mentioned, and as you heard from Dr. Osgathorpe, we have studies coming out that will revolutionize people's understanding of essential oils and revolutionize our healthcare professionals' view of how best to incorporate essential oils into a healthy and good life. So Verify Markets is right. doTERRA has the best advocates and the most powerful sourcing supply chain. We are ready to roll. Everything is in place. Speaking of supply chain, this won't be the first time you've seen this map, but just pause for a moment to recognize how remarkable it is. No other company comes close, and this is the whole game over the next decade in being able to source the best essential oils. We don't need middlemen. Every other company in the game at this point does. In short, the doTERRA family is simply the best at sharing and sourcing essential oils. And I'm not bragging, I'm just quoting, but you can see here that doTERRA, or that Verify Markets said, doTERRA has been the singular reason for the rapid market expansion. doTERRA has quickly risen to global domination of the market. I think even with my hyperbole, I would be nervous to make that type of claim. So I'm glad a third party did. I love doTERRA because we have the means to find, love, and impact thousands, hundreds of thousands of people at a true time of need. And I know we are all committed to doing that. So thank you for being a role model and inspiration to so many people who are trying to improve their and their families' lives. And thank you so much for being with us this evening. Hopefully you heard new messages that will assist all of the great work you are doing, and were reminded of some aspects of convention that you can continue to use as you share these wonderful gifts of the earth. For example, many convention presentations are available on our YouTube channel, and we also have a great resource that was created for this event. After I finish, there will be a QR code on your screen that will direct you to the DMK, the Digital Marketing Kit, where you can download the PDF of our Evolve Post-Convention Tour ebook. This ebook is not only a great recap of the best from convention, this will be a great resource for you, your teams, and future classes. Take a minute right now to download it. If you aren't familiar with all the great content on the DMK, after you download it, browse through all the great content there. On that same slide, it will also show you the remaining in-person PCT events, our post-convention tour events that are remaining. I can't wait to see you there if you can make it. And I will be in Minneapolis for sure, so I hope that will be the biggest event of the season. Thanks again for attending this event. We appreciate each one of you and what you are doing and the difference you are making. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.